Hello? Hello. Right, this one today, it's my five things that I love about the MCU and five things that I really don't like about the MCU. I'll go through the ones that I don't like first. Right, at number five, now I can't believe this made it on there because, it took me a few days to come up with this, but it actually did it in the end. Number five, how they ended the Infinity Saga with Far From Home. It just seemed to be a perfect time to end it with Infinity War. Oh, sorry, not Infinity War, Endgame. You know, with what happens in it. And it ends it with Far From Home, and it's just, to me, it's strange. No, that should be the start of Phase 4, but it's not. It just seems out of place somehow. The argument can be made about where Ant-Man is, but Ant-Man, look at what come out before that. It doesn't feel the same. Fourth on the list is more Thanos. Now, I know Thanos was in Infinity War Endgame. He's been in a couple of post-scene credits, but really, we need a little bit more looking back now. Maybe Guardians 2. Maybe just a little bit more Thanos in there for me. Or the Black Order and no Thanos, but he mentioned Thanos. Just seems like there wasn't enough Thanos within the MCU. But, the Avengers have, and all of them have faced other threats, so yeah, but I'm a big fan of the character. Number three, the TV link. Now, I know there's been some great shows, and Agents of Shield season 4, I loved that season, but there wasn't enough link. Now, when Agents of Shield come out, it was like it starts. You see pictures of Captain America and Thor and that, and you never see anyone, not even a Clint Barton, not even a Black Widow, no one. Just every now and then Maria Hill and I think Samuel L. Jackson turned up in two of them. Lady Sif as well. But since then, when they started turning up in the TV side, you didn't see them in the films at all. Like Far From Home was the first time properly we've seen Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury in quite a while, and there's like a big disconnect. With all the things that are going on in Agents of Shield, you think sooner or later they connect it, but there's not enough connection for it to be strong. Number two on the list, the ones that come and go. When I say that, there's a lot of villains out there like Kingpin, people like Bullseye. That's the Netflix side. Are they connected in? Is that canon? Well, it must be because they talk about the same things. Luke Cage, episode 1, there's a young lad trying to sell him video of the incident, from the first Avengers film. Obviously, it's linked in. People say, no, it's not canon. It just seems strange to me if it's not, because it's set in the same world, the things that they talk about, especially in the first seasons of each one. But there's, Hammer. Is he coming back? Justin Hammer. Like I said then, like Lady Sif. Dr. Jalvik, I think it was, appeared in Age of Ultron. He seems to be set up at Avengers headquarters, and you never see him again. It's that kind of thing. It's the comings and goings, but because of these Avengers films, you get so many characters, sometimes you can forget all about it. Does Doctor Strange still talk to her from the first Doctor Strange film? Like, there's a lot of disconnect with characters. Like, Maria Hill comes and goes, and it's hard to keep a track on all of it. But, it's like Foggy. What character, how you can link him into other stuff, but will the Netflix stuff do? I don't know. But the first one on my list by a mile is not enough Hulk. He got one film. He's been in 4 films away from his own film, which was Edward Norton's film, not Mark Ruffalo's. And it just felt so. Well, they tried to do something with him, and people didn't like it because we've not had enough of the original Hulk. I don't think. Little snippets in Endgame from the first Avengers film. Yeah, we just not got enough of him, and since he got pummeled by Thanos, people are downplaying him, say he's not even that strong now. World Breaker Hulk, is that something they're going to touch on? Wolverine versus the Hulk, is that a film? But the only thing I've seen for Hulk is She-Hulk. Hopefully we get a bit of Mark Ruffalo in that on the Disney show, on the Disney Plus when it eventually comes over to Europe. The Mandarin. I'm sick of YouTube showing me Baby Yoda. Right, number 5 of the things that I love about the MCU. Listening to the fans. Now, I know they can't satisfy absolutely everybody, but they really do try. I can't really go into that. I've seen fan pages and I've seen how things have ended up turning up. Number 4, I love this one. How far can it actually go? We're up to phase 4. X-Men, Fantastic Four, Shang-Chi's coming into it. The Eternals are coming into it. How far can they actually go with it? Number 3, the Netflix shows. That seemed to give a different platform for the MCU. When people are getting a little tired of the goodwill hunting of it, you could say, they needed something different, and watching the Netflix shows. Daredevil season 2 is remarkably good. The second Punisher season is remarkably good. The first season from both Luke Cage and Jessica Jones I thought was stunning. And I thought not Daredevil, Iron Fist season 2, I really enjoyed it. But it was too late by then, but that's a different story. Right, another thing I really did like, number 2 on the list for me. Kevin Feige, We Told You So. For years I've seen reports on all sorts of studios, all sorts of different people in the world of studio who laughed at him and pushed him down and said he's crazy to even think this. And look at these years later, Marvel Studios is the most successful film studio in the world. And it's the We Told You So. Marvel fans go back about 15 years ago. Well, was sniggered at really when it comes to movies. And you look now and everything's changed. And the thing I love about the MCU the most is the actors. The people they get for the roles. Robert Downey Jr. for Iron Man. Nailed it. Chris Hemsworth for Thor. Nailed it. Chris Evans. Nailed it. I could go on and on. Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury. Nailed it. It's a dream come true. And even, I've forgotten her name. I think Chloe. I can't remember her actual first name. Brilliant. I want her in the movies. I also want this guy as well, the Punisher, because they've got them down to a T. Even in the Netflix shows, I cannot think of not one hero, maybe for a couple of villains, but I can't think of one hero that wasn't perfect for the role. Tom Holland as Spider-Man, nailed it. Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, nailed it. Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, nailed it. Michael Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, nailed it. It just goes on and on. As soon as you think of those actors, you think of that character, and the screen and the words can only do so much for you. You've got to do it yourself, and they nailed it. And most of the villains, to be fair, Kurt Russell as Ego, Hela, it just goes on. Killmonger, but there are ones that people don't really look envious on. But I thought Jeff Bridges in the first Iron Man film was an outstanding villain, but you didn't know he was a villain until halfway through, so not exactly a spoiler. If you haven't seen Iron Man 1 and you're watching this, well, you're in for a treat. There's a lot of films out there if you haven't seen them. If you like, if you like superhero films and you haven't seen any of these films. Anyway, thanks for listening. That's top 5 on my most loved things about the MCU and my 5 things I hate about the MCU. Anyway, thanks for listening. See you again.